Have you ever been in a meeting or social gathering and felt like you were completely ignored? I understand it's a frustrating experience, but it doesn't have to be your reality anymore. Because today, I am revealing a powerful technique from a former secret agent that will instantly change how others perceive you. By the end of this video, you'll have the key to gaining respect in just 5 seconds. You don't have to be smart and good-looking. This method is simple, effective, and works every time. Let's dive into the secret that can make you go from unnoticed to unforgettable. So the respect you earn purely depends on your contribution score. Now, what is contribution score? It measures the value you've contributed in previous discussions. If your past contributions have been meaningful, people are more likely to stop and really listen when you speak. But if you've been known to ramble without adding much substance, your contribution score tanks, and people start tuning you out almost immediately. Steven recalls a time in the New York office when there was a colleague who would always jump in during brainstorming sessions, but instead of offering well-thought-out ideas, he'd just throw out random suggestions without much consideration. You could practically see the other participants' eyes glazing over the moment he started talking. His contribution score was so low that people didn't even give his ideas a chance. Contrast that with Paul in his UK office. Paul rarely spoke up, but when he did, everyone knew it was worth listening to. His high contribution score meant that he had a reputation for saying things that mattered. The moment he started talking, the room would go quiet and all eyes would be on him, ready to absorb whatever wisdom he was about to share. Next time you're about to talk, think about whether your words are adding value or just filling space. But there's a problem. What about those people who disrespect you anyway and compromise your boundaries repeatedly? What would you do in this situation? Think about what standards have you established, knowingly or unknowingly, that might signal to others that it's okay to take advantage of you or ignore your personal space, which lead them to compromise your boundaries. Former CIA Chief of Station, John Franey, revealed that it's much easier to start with firm boundaries and then relax them a bit, rather than trying to establish authority after you've been too lenient. But let's say you've set clear boundaries, yet there are still some people who habitually push them. The biggest mistake people make in this situation is they let it slide because it seems small. Then it happens again, and suddenly you're frustrated, wondering why they don't just stop. The truth is, we often avoid addressing these things because we're afraid of conflict, but avoiding it doesn't make the problem go away. It just builds up resentment. Think of it like a respectful debate. Let's say someone made a mistake at work. Instead of getting angry or ignoring it, simply call the person and ask them to explain what happened. By listening and then asking, "Is there anything I can do to help you succeed?" the conversation became about finding a solution, not placing blame. It's also important to check if what you're feeling is genuine disrespect or just ego reacting to someone pushing back. How often do you misinterpret a challenge as an insult? If your goal is to create something great, whether it's a product, a deal, or a relationship, you need to be willing to have those tough conversations. However, many of us avoid them because we're afraid of hurting feelings or stepping on toes. But there's still a problem left. You've learned to set boundaries and speak when necessary, but even if you choose the right moment, if you can't articulate yourself clearly, people will still ignore you, and everything you've learned in this video will go to waste. That's why it's crucial to master the art of articulation. The good news is that you can easily do this using the Feynman Technique, which I have explained in this video. I would recommend you to watch it.